Plaintiff Richard Stark says the defendant is his nephew, and he has a long history of getting into trouble. Richard claims the defendant was dishonorably discharged from the military and thrown in a German prison for selling marijuana, and he's suing him today for the cost of a truck. Defendant Justin Stark says he and Richard have always been close, and although he admits that he got into trouble when he went into the military, he insists he was not dishonorably discharged. Justin has no idea why he's being sued, because Richard never gave him the opportunity to pay for the truck.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Prove your case. Well, we're here today because I want the best for my nephew, for him to succeed and to make something for himself.
Does he want to?
That he's going to have to make that decision himself. It doesn't seem that way.
He makes that decision. You can't want for him what he may not want for himself.
Correct. Well, the last few years...
You might want to just sit up and get high and drink beer all day. Some people, that's a good life. I know a couple of people have told me flat out, hey, man, I ain't trying to do that training program, college, job, whatever you're talking about. I don't know. All I want to do is... And these are grown men. All I want to do is sit here and drink this beer and watch cartoons all day.
That's his own prerogative.
This is what I enjoy doing. You go out there and work hard. You do all of that. That's fine. If that satisfies you, you go and handle all that stress. Am I right or wrong?
You're right, sir.
See that? That's what he wanted. That's what he told you. Nah, go ahead. But go ahead. You want the best for him.
He's got a long history of being in trouble. He was in the military for 2 years, and he was dishonorably discharged and placed in a military prison in Germany for a year for selling marijuana. Since then, he's been job to job, and in December, my father committed suicide.
Sorry to hear that.
And I took possession of a vehicle. And at that time, Justin was about to lose his job for lack of transportation back and forth to work. I offered to sell him the vehicle for a very good price, and he took that offer up. At that point, one of the stipulations is that he did not take any road trips without registering it, insuring it in his own name. So at that point...
I went to go see my mother, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
On Saturday, less than a week later, I received a phone call, and he was on the side of the road and needed assistance because he didn't have a jack in the truck. I told him that was quite irresponsible for taking a road trip without it insured and registered in your name.
Had you transferred the title to him?
I did sign a title for him.
Okay. I have it right here.
Gave him a receipt to register it.
All right. You're saying he was irresponsible by not registering it. He could only register it if he had title. And since you transferred title. Let me hear your side, sir, before we get to the specific amounts and why you owe that.
Your Honor, I've been very, very close to my uncle my whole entire life. We had gotten close during the whole, my grandfather passing because, I also was very, very close. I didn't have too much with my family in the beginning, but my grandfather, we were really, really close when I was little. When I did go to the Army, I did get in a little bit of trouble, but I did not get a dishonorable discharge. I had been released on a bad conduct discharge. My uncle had called me one night, basically he was drunk and he was like, I want to do you the favor. I'd never asked him for the vehicle.
He called you drunk in the middle of the night.
It was the night after. It was the night.
Giving you a car?
Well, yes. It wasn't like he was giving me the car.
Go get him a drink. Send something my way, Doc. Get drunk and give me something.
It wasn't that he said that. He didn't say he was going to give me the vehicle. Okay. He said that we could work something out. He wanted to help me out. I said I didn't have a problem with that. I'd be able to bring him down to $500. On that weekend,
you all agreed on what price?
We agreed on $1,500.
You gave him $500 down?
I gave him $500 down.
Your Honor.
What is that you're showing me?
Your Honor.
This is the receipt that says $500.
State your name.
Diana Stark.
What do you want to say?
Wife of the plaintiff. I was there when Justin came down to the house. He came with no money in hand. He had promised $500 when he got down there, and he didn't have it. My husband gave him the receipt so that he could title it. He promised he would send him money and never sent
Okay.
a dime.
I never got the chance, Your Honor. They came down.
I thought you just told me you did.
I gave them the $500,
No,
Your
you
Honor.
did
So
not.
what didn't you have the chance to do?
I didn't get the chance to send the other $1,000 because what had happened is my uncle got all mad because we went on that trip, and which I had paid for when we got stuck to, like when I'd gotten in
So
trouble.
you had to be something saying that he sold it to you for $500.
Right, but we both had agreed on $1,500.
Why you show me something that said 500?
That was the receipt that I originally had brought down. That's his signature. on it.
Saying for 500.
Yes.
So why did you give me something saying that it was sold to you for 500 if you knew it wasn't?
Because that's what I was given. That's the $500 that I've already
But
paid
you
on it.
gave it to me knowing it was untrue.
I don't
This is not true. This said, let me read it to you. I, Richard Starks, am selling a 1998 Chevy 510 pickup, as is, to Justin Sparks for $500.
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't interpret that as the amount I'm selling it to you for?
No, because
Okay,
I mean,
you've
we
been
verbally
smoking too
agreed.
much weed, sir. Go ahead, sir. You, what else you want to tell me?
At the time, I received a phone call stating that he was on the side of the road over 100 miles away from home.
Got that part.
I proceeded to tell him to bring me the vehicle back because it was still registered and insured in my father's name. And he proceeded to tell me to go to hell, that he was an adult and that he was not going to be told what to do and where to go and when he could go. I told him, well, that until that vehicle is registered and insured in your name, it's not your vehicle.
Had he paid for the vehicle?
No, not at all.
Okay, and you hadn't transferred title to him
I
at that
gave
point?
him, I signed
Because
the
it was
title.
his car once you transferred title to him.
I did ignorantly transfer the title to him on the basis that he was my nephew.
So he did buy the car. He breached the contract
Correct.
to pay you for the car.
Correct.
And that's why you're here to get your money.
Yes,
He
correct.
can keep the truck all he wants.
Yes,
You just
correct.
want your money.
Well, I need the money so that I can settle my father's
Right,
estate.
but he can keep
Yes.
the truck.
Yes,
can't
he
get
can
both.
have the vehicle.
All right, good
as
enough.
far as I'm
And he says he paid you $500.
Not at all, sir.
All right. And sir, I don't believe you. You provided me with the fraudulent document.
That, Your Honor, that's his signature on there. He's the one who gave that.
I know, but
to
you
me.
gave it to me.
He gave. That was just showing you that that's how much I had already paid on
No,
it.
that's not what this says. This says he was selling it to you for $500. He says he was selling it to you for $1,500,
Correct.
and that you haven't paid a dime. And you say you paid him $500, what, cash?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good enough. And I don't believe you. I believe the plaintiff. Therefore, I'm going to grant his judgment, $1,500. Have a good
Very
day.
much, Judge.